Pokemon investing has changed more in the last year than in its entire history. A sealed product has become increasingly difficult to obtain. Though I actually have been seeing a bit of a growing community sentiment that everything today will be nowhere near the price points of today and everything's gonna drop, and that vintage is only expensive because that's where the true scarcity lied. But something you need to remember is that if the products are hard to get on release, how are they gonna be easy to get a few years later? I mean, that doesn't really make any sense unless there's massive reprints and really extended reprint windows. The real story that everyone really needs to understand right now is that Pokemon collecting has grown faster than anyone expected. And what's even more interesting is that the search term Pokemon cards is at its highest point in history right now. And that's despite the fact that people are increasingly using AI now to search for what they want instead of traditional search engines. So if anything, that record high search number likely just understates how much Pokemon cards have actually grown in popularity. The thing you need to remember is, yes, scalpers exist, but what's even more crucial that you really need to understand is that there is a huge number of collectors entering the market. Demand has expanded dramatically and the production is still trying to catch up. Plus, mix that in that people don't just buy one booster box anymore, people buy multiple. So everything has become much more expensive. So that's why with all of this, I actually really want to go which booster boxes I think are interesting purchases at the moment and the ones that I really think we need to look into. Okay, so let's just get this one out of the way. It's the first one on the list, but it is Temporal Forces. Now, if you watch my most recent video, you would see that I placed Temporal Forces as my dark horse pick for the year. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but more so I'm just really happy with where the price is at the moment. I think it's actually quite undervalued. All right, so like I said with Temporal Forces, right now selling for around 262 USD, which I think, honestly, real talk, to me, that is such a well-priced booster box, considering that booster boxes like Perfect Order are already selling for around 220 US, and a lot of newer booster boxes from the Mega Evolution era are already like not exactly that expensive, but they're close to that price point. So yes, Temporal Forces probably doesn't have the most interesting special illustration rares in terms of that wider collector market, because you know, if you collect Pokemon cards, I always talk about it, but sets that have those ace Pokemon, those Pokemon that the majority of people collect, they usually perform well. So even like just looking at Ascended Heroes, the fact that that has a Mega Dragonite and a Mega Gengar, and also that incredible Pikachu special illustration rare, that's already placing it in a position for success because it has 3 incredibly popular Pokemon, it has the mascot of the franchise, and one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, which is Gengar, and of course it has a Generation 1 Pseudo Legendary with Dragonite. That's just like tick, tick, tick. Temporal Forces doesn't have that. It actually lacks that. When you look at the special illustration rares, they're all the Paradox forms, which some people will enjoy, some people won't. It is the most Scarlet and Violet themed set we have in the Scarlet and Violet era. Every special illustration rare is directly so connected to the video games. I mean, when we even look at something like Black Bolt or White Flare or even Pokemon 151, they really don't have anything to do with Scarlet and Violet at all. In fact, those sets could be placed in any era and no one would even say anything about them. Temporal Forces could only have been placed in Generation 9, and that's why I do like it. But in terms of the price point, look, I think 262 US right now is definitely an undervalued booster box for my opinion. And of course, that's my opinion, but I really think the amazing illustration rare library, it's actually one that I'm really looking out for right now, and I do think it is in a good position. Also, hey, I just want to say, if it is your first time on the channel, I really want to say welcome and introduce myself. My name's Phil, and I've been making content about Pokemon cards for over 2 years now. If you like this style of content and you definitely want to see more of it, definitely feel free to subscribe. It's always awesome seeing new people on the channel. Now, the next one is Phantasmal Flames, which is right now selling for $321, which you can see, how crazy is that? That's pretty much a brand new booster box, and you can see Temporal Forces released in 2024 and early 2024, and Phantasmal Flames is like literally just barbecuing it, dude. It is so much more ahead. But here's the thing about Phantasmal Flames. The reason why this set right now is in a prime position is all because of the Mega Charizard X special illustration rare. It's pretty much a pull Charizard or bust set. It's still very much like that. There isn't much of this set outside of that Charizard, though that Charizard is a generational card. This is the Mega Evolution card. I really doubt we're going to get something that overtakes it. Reason being is it is Charizard, and of course the artwork is just so sick. It's actually one of my favorite artworks as well. But in terms of, you know, purchasing that card, it is expensive. Though Phantasmal Flames right now, even though I wouldn't say it's an undervalued booster box, I do think given that Charizard and seeing the community sentiment around it, I suppose the problem right now is that Charizard artwork is an S tier artwork. And just like I said, and like I always tell all my audience, when you do have those massive hitters like a Charizard, like a Pikachu, it does do do a big effect on the sealed product as well. Now, also, sealed booster boxes are excellent investments, but so are graded cards as well, especially PSA 10s, though we all know how difficult some cards are to be returned as a PSA 10. Though if you do want a tool that actually helps you with that, then it does bring me to today's video sponsor, Sushi Grade. Now, Sushi Grade is built for collectors who take grading seriously and want to make smarter decisions with their cards. One of the hardest parts of grading is knowing which cards are worth sending into grade. Well, Sushi Grade assists with all of that by providing the key info all in the one spot. So on the homepage, you can see that it says, hey, is your card worth grading? Well, you can just search your card here and it will show you immediately what its chances are of being returned as a PSA 10. Now, in the grading tab, it actually shows you the best cards to grade, which would receive a big price bump if returned as a PSA 10. Though what's important is whenever you're researching like this, it's always important to look at the gem mint chances as well. Now, what's awesome is that you can unlock all the premium features with the promo code appearing on screen. With this promo code, you'll save 10% off your first month. You can find the link within the video's description. A huge thanks to Sushi Grade for supporting the channel. Now let's jump back into this video. Now, the next one is Journey Together Enhanced Booster Boxes. Now, they were selling for $264. Right now, the Enhanced Booster Box is currently selling for $244. Man, to me, that's a good price because you also get the guaranteed Ends Reshiram stamped promo, which is right now selling for like $17 or $18. So, I mean, technically that's a really good purchase. You do get the guaranteed promo, plus you get the booster box. I really have been enjoying Journey Together lately. I think the special illustration rares are really good. I think the illustration rares are good, and they do have friendly pull rates. Like, honestly, if you open Journey Together, you will have a fun time because it's likely you'll pull something. Same with Phantasmal Flames, but then when you got other sets like Surging Sparks or Destined Rivals, you can get really disappointed opening those. Right now, I actually think Journey Together Enhanced Booster Boxes are probably one of the better booster boxes you can buy. The market has definitely shifted, but there is so much in our focus on specialty sets. Mainline sets for the Scarlet and Violet era have not really stood toe-to-toe with the special. And even now with the Mega Evolution era, I haven't had a mainline set, whether it be Perfect Order, Phantasmal Flames, or base set. Sure, it's early, but now with Pokemon Winds and Waves, that we can see that that's coming out in 2027, to me, that's telling me that the Mega Evolution TCG era will at least be running until late 2027, early 2028, because obviously you have to have that transition with the generation. So right now, we're in the early phases of that Mega Evolution era. Now, one that I want to talk about is Destined Rivals. Now, to be honest, Destined Rivals right now is selling for $543 US. Now, this isn't one that I'd personally be buying. Now, I do think that this set in particular is a very volatile set at the time being because it's not even a year old. It is definitely in big reprint territory, and it is very much a decision right now of whether or not you buy Destined Rivals. There's no reprint. Well, then, yeah, you are going to be in a good position. Though if there's a reprint, you can see a big market pullback. This set is the mainline set of the Scarlet and Violet era that everyone is obviously obsessed with. The special illustration rares are incredible. The illustration rares are great. It's a Generation 1 throwback. Like I've already said how many times that when you have that Generation 1 throwback, you pull in a bigger audience than just collectors. You pull in the nostalgia people. You pull in the people that just buying because, oh, Team Rocket, that reminds me of my childhood. $543 US is really expensive. Though, here's the thing, it is a coin flip right now, because if there's no reprint, then this is going to become a very expensive set, and it would probably be on the likes of Evolving Skies and Team Up. Though if there's a reprint, you may be overpaying right now. So that one is, right now, I personally am waiting out Destined Rivals, because when Destined Rivals came out, I had the position to buy 3 booster boxes. I was actually moving interstate at the time. I had all these expenses coming on, and hey, actually good lesson. See, there you go. A lot of people be like, oh, but Phil, don't you regret now not buying enough Destined Rivals at the time? And no, because I know at the position, I had to move homes. I had to move 2,000 kilometers away from home. So at that time, that was my priority. So a little bit of a lesson for everyone. It's if you have different priorities, don't ever regret if you didn't buy more, because you can pretty much only buy what you can at the time. And at that time, I even knew Destined Rivals would rise. I had very much confidence in it. I was telling all my audience, hey, it's a great, there's high potential for this set. But me personally, I'm just letting you all know, I only bought 1 booster box of it because at the time of my life, there was other things that were happening in my life. And there's no regrets because you can only do what you have. So don't think just because a set might be a good purchase that you need to over leverage yourself to get some skin in the game. Just buy 1 booster box, buy 1 ATB. It's really important that if you can only afford 1 booster box at the time or 1 ATB, you always made the right choice. Don't forget that. Now, one that I am absolutely loving right now is Chilling Reign. Check this out, man. Chilling Reign selling for $527. Now, that's pretty much on the same price as Destined Rivals, though this set is 5 years old this year. It is an old set. It is a really, really, in my opinion, really cool set. You've got the Blaziken alternate art. You've got the Galarian Moltres V, really awesome set, super difficult pull rates, also known as Chilling Pain. If people remember that from back in the day because it was so hard to get anything from this set, to be honest. But there you go, selling for $527. If we go back a little bit around December, was selling for $418, and there was actually a lot of discussion around that time because you can see right here that it was selling for $577, dropped all the way to $412. And that was big news in the community because sealed products, traditionally when they're out of print for as long as Chilling Reign had, they didn't really have such big market dips. That was a really new thing, but it has kind of come back with a vengeance. Though there's an interesting thing. I think Chilling Reign right now is definitely one, especially if you want to own some Sword and Shield products, it's one of the best priced Sword and Shield products at the moment in the market. Now, the next one to talk about right now is Perfect Order, which is currently selling for $230 US. Yes, it's expensive for a brand new booster box, but if we pull it here, it was selling for around $198, and even here, you know, $197, around that range, still selling for around $230. Do I think Perfect Order is an interesting set or out of this world? No, I do think the Clefairy illustration rare is incredible. There you go. There's an S tier artwork right there with that Clefairy. I think it's absolutely out of this world. But in terms of that right now, with how hard Pokemon products are to get, with the fact that retail price has gone up, I think if you can get some Perfect Order for retail price, you do have an opportunity right now, especially if you pre-order your sets. I've been looking across Australia. I can still pre-order a lot of Perfect Order. I think across the world, I'm not sure with what your situation's like, but I'm pretty sure you would be able to right now. And to be honest, I think if you can get any Pokemon product right now at retail price, which is Perfect Order. Of course, though, getting things for retail price is always difficult, but you know, even though I don't think right now that the set is that crazy good, I do think that the illustration rares are not too bad, and like I said, that Clefairy is one I'm really going to be looking out for. Now, interestingly, it's not a booster box, but I do want to talk about Ascended Heroes ETBs. Right now selling for $111. It's interesting, I've been looking on forums and people and just like community kind of like showing Ascended Heroes. It's actually looking a bit more easier to get than a lot of other sets. Like if I compare Ascended Heroes to Prismatic Evolutions, Ascended Heroes is way more available. Just from my own opinion, from what I can see, it does look easier to get. Prismatic Evolutions was tough. It's still tough. It was always tough. Like to find Prismatic Evolutions at a store was crazy. Even though Ascended Heroes is still like that, if you find it in a store, it's like, wow. It's actually, to me, it doesn't seem as difficult as Prismatic. And right now selling for $111. I know it's not a booster box, but man, like the special illustration rares, that Mega Gengar, that Dragonite, the Pikachu, the Metagross, there is so many heavy hitters in this set. It is just destined for good things. Like just the trajectory and the path and the future of Ascended Heroes is very positive. It's definitely one that I'd be looking out for. And the next one I want to talk about is Paradox Rift, which you can purchase right now for $260, which is, that's a good price considering the current market. I just showed you Perfect Order selling for $230. Paradox Rift is selling for $260, though it is from November of 2023. It is like approaching an old set. Though, you know, okay, I have to admit the Paradox Rift special illustration rares do leave a lot to be desired. That Garchomp SIR to me looks more like a full art than anything. Though I have to say the real thing where Paradox Rift really shines is its illustration rares. The Brute Bonnet, Yveltal, and Mantike are so good, man. And the Porygon Z artwork, if you've seen that one, that is such an awesome illustration rare. For me, Paradox Rift is, you know, for $260 US, that is a good price to be honest, considering the market right now. When you're looking at Destined Rivals, when you're looking at all these other sets, you can definitely see that these do have the potential. But you know what? Like something like Paradox Rift or something like the Journey to get the Enhanced Booster Box, they're just going to take a little bit more time than these other sets. But these booster boxes are all interesting, though right now there's actually 10 Pokemon cards and products that have caught my attention, and I'll reveal those in this video on screen right here. Within this video on screen, I actually go over the 10 Pokemon cards right now to look out for in the current market. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Pokemon cards there, feel free to click the video on screen. Really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video.